All right, so you're wrench for the evening. Is that what?
Yeah, Joe Ranch.
There's a
Ranch from
our
Watch
aca,
Dogs came here from
our
Silicon
acapella
Valley
fucking
to a little
intro.
tiny neck of the woods. That's me. I'm Ranch.
Oh,
French.
okay.
It's
Let's
pronounced
go.
French with an
Grinch.
H.
You.
French Grinch. Grinch. French. What is... All right, here we'll go. All right.
I hate you guys.
I couldn't help it. I looked at the thing and it's just fucking glowing
You see
eyes.
the-
It's...
All right, let's gather ourselves.
That's not happening tonight.
All right, guys, thanks for joining us for another Last Call podcast. My name is MikeyT. I'm joined as always by Tristan.
Greetings, internet.
And then we have someone joining us who has decided to hide his identity, partially because of many glasses of beer you had before coming over. But Wrench is joining us. So let's just jump right into things. You wanna talk-
Mr. French. What was that? Isn't somebody
It's
Mr. French?
Ranch with a W.
Isn't
not
that
with an F.
the guy from The Professional, right? Leon the Professional. Wasn't he Mr. French in something? I think he was Mr. French in Godzilla. Now I'm embarrassed
fucking
that I
hate
brought
you
that up.
right now.
Oh, how was that movie? Was that any good?
No, I
It's a
think he was
great
Mr.
movie.
French in the late '90s Godzilla, not the new one.
Oh yeah, he was in that, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was in that. I don't know what he was. He was like an attaché to the French government or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, that's
I
entirely
did not know
unnecessary.
that. That
Yeah.
is
He
news to
like
me.
shows up. He's like a military aide or something. It's been a long time
So
since I've seen that.
so
But
there
you
was
were asking about the new Godzilla. I think
yes,
it was okay.
it was a solid okay.
Yeah, it was.
It sounds disappointing.
Meanwhile, French Wrench back here is playing with his fucking light up eye mask.
Have you seen the? I think it's Have we even seen anything in motion yet? A trailer for the new King Kong movie?
I don't know. Do they have? I don't know if they
I
have it.
don't
So I
think
think
it
they
has
just
been
have a
out yet.
poster,
Uh,
and it's like King Kong is like he's not like 30 feet tall. He's like the size of a goddamn mountain. Like he's absolutely enormous. And they talked to the director about it, and they were like, "Yeah, most monster movies make you wait like an hour and a half before you get to see the whole thing. Fuck that noise. He's in it right away. He's no big reveal. Like he's gonna be in it from the beginning. And the theory is they're setting up the big Godzilla versus King Kong after this.
Because I think previously in those movies, it's like Godzilla is the size of like a mountain, and King Kong is like the size of a building, and then they eventually
One gets a
One
little
got a
smaller,
little
one
smaller,
gets a little bigger, and they meet in the middle somewhere.
They finally scaled them down to be able to fight each other.
because I've seen infographics that show the different sizes of what's the Japanese name for the monsters, like gaijin
Kaiju.
kaiju.
Yeah. Do you like Damn, what's that? What's the robots versus monster movie? Pacific Rim. Did you like that?
I didn't see it.
Oh my god,
man,
that was
that
such
was
a
a lot
bad
of fun.
movie.
What? That was a lot of fun.
Are you
That was
kidding
a ton
me?
of fun. Yeah, absolutely.
I imagine it's,
Fucking
Dude,
giant
that movie was
robot
so
fights a giant
bad.
monster with a cargo ship as a sword. That was amazing. You need to
Dude,
let
the
your
whole thing's
let your inner
we
child
gotta be able to match our movie body movements in order to make this thing work. No, that's bullshit.
That's not what I watched it for. I didn't watch it for the people. I watched it for the robots.
Fuck the people.
Well,
Fuck the
yeah. I mean,
robots.
if there's, I was like, I'll just watch the robot fights. Like
it'd
that's
be
okay.
awesome if they had that, but it was controlled by Microsoft Kinect, so that like none of the functionality was there. Like the robots just like twitching and
Twitched
shit.
around.
I'm waving my
And, like,
hand.
opening up
Stop.
Netflix by mistake. You're like, what the
Make it
fuck,
work.
piece of garbage.
I will give you the 2-person mech controlling thing was probably a mechanic that didn't need to be there.
It was completely useless. It was
Yeah.
just an added device in order for them to be able to hey guys, we're gonna give you this love story where these two people that don't really agree with each other can coexist.
That's
And-
true, but I mean, Hollywood rules are basically the love story has to be there, right? I mean,
Yeah, they do that in like every movie.
It's so you can drag your girlfriend to the movie and not feel bad about it. If you
It'll
drag
be
your
a little
girlfriend to a
better than
movie
that, though.
that
was
just
kinda
was giant robots fighting giant monsters, she'd be mad about that. But if you bring her to a movie where giant robots fight giant monsters and the two people piloting the primary giant robot fall in love, then you're like, it was
Oscar
okay.
bait at that point.
Yeah,
Well,
basically.
honestly, if that were to happen in real life, I will have some question marks about it.
I'm telling you, the question marks don't show up on the camera.
I don't care. It's still happening.
And they certainly don't show up on the audio. So he
I
has
do
a
not care. It's happening.
Yeah, for
So-
the audio
Deal with it.
listeners.
for the audio
I don't-
listeners,
Just
he
you
is
had to.
he is wearing a paintball mask that he has built-in LEDs into, and
basically.
he can select different images to go across where his eyes are.
Emojis, if you will.
Yeah. So if you hear him oddly pause and then make a joke that sounds like your dad made it, he's selecting a different eyewear. That is what's going on.
That
You, sir,
is
are
that
deaf.
is that is the bit.
I mean, we need like the audio equivalent of subtitles. Like,
Closed caption.
yeah.
You know why I love Pacific Rim? Because it was basically a reboot of Robot Jocks, which I was a big fan of when I was a child. Even though it's one of the worst movies ever made.
I can't believe I haven't seen that. Or have
You've
I?
never seen Robot Jocks?
I don't think so.
It
Well,
was
I kinda have-
fucking
well-
terrible when it came out, and it is not aged well. It is bad.
It's effectively spoiled.
I kind of have to ask the question though. If we're gonna bring Pacific Rim into the equation here, what about the whole entire thing back in 2014, 2015, on the robot wars between the United States and Japan? They were supposed to have like a huge they're supposed to build like this huge robots to fight each other. What happened to that?
Did you see they just brought out a weapons test yesterday or the day before? Have you seen it?
No, I did not. Obviously, I
Yeah,
missed
it's not good. The Americans came out with they didn't even bring out their robot. So what they came out with was they've built a bunch of weapons that they want to use. My guess is the rules are they're all going to be hand weapons. Like I don't think they're going to shoot at each other.
Well, yeah, that was actually like one of the things I talked about. Yeah.
So they did a weapons test the other day where they didn't build another robot, but they built like a metal facsimile of another robot. It's maybe, I don't know, 15, 20 feet high. It's not 20 feet high. It's probably 15 feet high. And they attached their different proposed weapons onto the front of a Bobcat. And so like they had a big saw and that didn't work. They had a huge chainsaw and that didn't work. And then they had I think a circular saw and that didn't work. And they had a big claw and that kind of worked a little bit. And none of the weapons they brought out worked really effectively at all. The whole giant robot fight is going to be really disappointing.
So for anyone that has seen Gundam 00, yeah, Japan is 00, the world is America, and we suck.
I'm really hoping that like they show up for Battle Day and the Americans bring their robot with like a chainsaw on one arm and like a drill bit on the other, and the Japanese show up with a robot that pulls like some sort of glowing
Laser sword?
plasma sword out of its back and just slices the American robot in half.
Gundam.
I had no idea this was a real thing that they were.
That is a real thing. Yeah.
It was
When
actually
you first said it, I was like, "Oh, he's referencing something about the movie," and then
No, it's a real thing.
you explained it more. I was like, "Holy shit, this is real life."
It was good. It was good marketing. Who started it? Was it the Americans that started it?
No, I think it was a Japanese company, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, I could be wrong. I did that much reading into it.
So one of them came out and said,
the way that I gathered it, and I could be wrong again here, but the Japanese company came out with this like MechaBot, and then the American people were like, "Oh, we can do it better."
yeah,
now we're kinda just,
somebody
like,
said
not
we're building this
filling
giant
the-
robot. You know, we've always. I thought it was the Americans. I thought it was the Americans that came out and said, when we were kids, we wanted to see giant robots fight one another. Nobody's done that. So we said, fuck it. Let's build a giant robot and make it fight. And then what I thought happened was a Japanese company came out and said, oh, well, that's cute, but we're Japanese and we know how to make real fighting robots. It's fucking on. So they started building theirs, and the Americans started building ours. And the fight's supposed to happen next year sometime.
It's supposed to be March next year, if I'm not mistaken.
You know what this made me think of? I don't know if you've seen it, but it was like it was a commercial for something, I don't know, or some little short movie made by some independent director, but it was like Trump and his wall security, and he had a giant Trump robot, and it had like the metal Trump hair and everything, and these battling like a bunch of Mexican stereotypes at the border. And it was ridiculous. I don't even know. I saw it randomly on Facebook. But
hey, I found it to be highly racial insensitive, but I prove it.
So back in mid 2000s, Michael Jackson was getting ready to set up a residency in Los Angeles, and to advertise this residency, what they wanted to do was they wanted to construct like a 50-foot tall mechanized Michael Jackson statue. They could actually, and what they wanted it to do was they wanted it to wander around the desert like underneath the flight path that planes would take into Vegas. And they wanted to build like spotlights into its eyes. And so when you flew into Vegas, what you'd see is a 50-foot tall Michael Jackson shooting brilliant blinding lights into the sky.
doesn't sound anything like that. Doesn't sound not safe. Like,
And I think two things happened. The casino came back and they said, no, absolutely, we're not paying for that. And two, the city was like, no, you may not have a 50-foot tall robot wandering the desert shooting blinding lights into the sky. I just always thought that was a gnarly idea. I mean, way to take it up a notch.
he's playing with his mask again.
At least I'm not playing with myself like you are.
I'm gonna get a spray bottle. And be like, it's like, no, stop it.
No.
Like electrocutes him.
I don't know. How did we get to Michael Jackson? Giant robot fights.
We're talking about the movies.
I don't remember. Were we talking about movies? We were. I did see
Pacific Rim. That was the whole point of the movie.
Pacific Rim.
That
Yeah,
was the
it started
movie
at
of
Pacific
conversation
Rim.
at this point.
I don't
Pacific
remember
Rim.
how we got there.
It sucked.
That's all. We just rambled
That's
on.
kinda
You're
like
wrong.
like
You're
that
wrong
kind of
about
thing.
that. You have hatred in your heart, and you need to let your inner child out again. Or you're
I mean,
going to
that's
live a
the thing.
sad existence.
It's one of the you've talked about
I'm
it
sorry.
before.
I guess you're right. Let me. I have some here.
If you go into that type of movie and expect anything other than hot
Shit.
garbage for a story and a bunch of awesome action, like if you go into that movie and then it has
It was
shitty
not
action,
that much awesome
Yeah.
action. It was very, dude. They had fucking Clay from Sons of Anarchy playing like some fucking mercenary merchant.
that wasn't
Underworld,
that
like-
had nothing to do with the action.
It
You
did.
were like the action wasn't that good.
They
Oh,
tried
here's
to
another
present, like,
actor
this
who was playing a
badass
shitty
that
character.
It's not who he was. He's like this badass who's dealing with like alien tech, and he's just like wearing fucking Mexican boots with a fucking like, with the fucking spikes, with the fucking like.
Yeah, he had
So
spike
shit on
shoes.
the-
He had golden spike shoes on. He was supposed
welcome
to.
to
he was supposed
Pacific
to be
Rim
eccentric.
cast, where we discuss nothing but Pacific Rim.
Let's agree.
We
This
could break
movie
it down
sucks,
scene by
right?
scene.
Yes. Okay.
We got enough
Cool.
time.
We
It's
agree.
only like a 90-minute movie. We could just open it up front to back and just really take this thing apart.
Step by step, really figure out what is wrong.
Well, I mean, I'm
with
not gonna lie.
Pacific Rim.
I might have to take a Pacific Rim. In a
Nothing.
minute.
Nothing is wrong with
And by
Pacific
that I
Rim.
mean a shit.
That's
All right.
that's the end.
So
of it. I saw
next
sausage.
up-
I saw Sausage Party over the weekend.
I forgot about that movie.
Better than Pacific Rim.
It was better than I thought it was going to be. It was over the top. Like, it was filthy just to be filthy. But there were several moments where, like, I turned to Susan. We were drinking. I turned to Susan. And I was like, "What the fuck is going on here?" Like, there are several scenes in there that are just completely out of hand.
So it's like shock jock level. Like I'm just trying to be as controversial as possible. It's
Yeah.
like not even
Yeah.
they're going for the humor and then it happens to be controversial. It's like
They're going for shock value.
And I think it works if you go there from the right perspective. I think if you're going to see a filthy movie made by stoners about sentient food, it works. I think it's over the top at several points. I think there are scenes that don't work, but by and large, it's pretty amusing.
I haven't actually kept an eye out, but I really hope some like clueless parent took their kids there.
Had to happen. Now they telegraph it from like, so the trailer that came out a year and a half ago was brilliant, right?
Yeah.
Because it's 60 seconds of it just looks like an animated movie, and then they do the
just
hard
goes fucking nuts,
yeah, it goes way off the rails. But I think to curb that at the theater, I think almost from the first 15 seconds there's hot dogs dropping F-bombs, so you could get out of there pretty quickly.
It's kind of like you're describing Deadpool at the beginning of the year.
Yeah. No, Deadpool, I think, had to do the same thing. I think Deadpool, like, right away, because there had to be a lot of parents that took their kids to Deadpool, right? Because it's another Marvel movie.
Yeah, and they were thinking it's going to be, like, sensitive and okay to deal with, but then you have, like, death, sex, and...
Yeah, plenty of toilet humor.
Oh, yeah.
I'm curious about a rated R Logan. I'm wondering if that's going to be... Is it going to be just pure violence? Is it just going to be a really bloody Wolverine movie? Is it...
I can imagine.
No, there's no
is there language in it? Is there,
They'll probably turn it all up just a little bit, but I think it's mostly going to be the violence.
Do we finally see a fully erect Hugh Jackman? Is that...
that's
that
all
in the
they're going
cards?
for. That's all they
It's
want.
a dream you'll someday accomplish.
Finally,
You will see
one
a
day.
fully
Well,
erect
I can only hope.
Hugh Jackman.
As soon as I heard it was
That's
rated
gonna be
R, I was like,
something.
maybe 2017 will be my
Just go to
year.
Cali. Just go to Cali, and you'll see him at a bar. It'll be a gay bar, and just...
Yeah, he might be. That's the rumor, right? He's gay.
I don't.
Oh no! I mean, if that what you
He's really
if that
into
is what
musical
you're
theater.
hoping
I don't know. He
for,
probably has a wife
then
and two
cool,
kids.
But just
I think
saying.
he does, but
The last guy I thought who was, I told Susan I thought somebody was gay. He was like, nope, here's a picture. Vin Diesel. I thought Vin Diesel was gay.
no, he's
That's like back.
And I
that's
mentioned it to
like
Susan. She's
9?
like, nope, here's his beautiful wife and two children. I mean,
he
That was
supposedly is.
09, dude. That's so old school.
Okay,
I think it was.
he's supposedly bisexual.
oh really? Is that like, so maybe he like was gay? Maybe
He
Kind
he
of on the
experimented
spectrum.
in college.
He did not inhale. Okay.
He's notorious. He's a
Or
notorious
swallow.
recluse,
I don't know what it is.
which is interesting to me. He doesn't like do a lot of interviews and shit like that. Let's do a little bit of crossover here. I wanted to talk to you guys about, because you guys both played it more than I did, the new Assassin's Creed trailer.
Did not play that shit.
Which you didn't play Assassin's Creed at all?
No, fuck that fucking game, dude. I have not played any Assassin's Creed since like 2013.
But did you play the original Assassin's Creed?
1 and 2, yeah.
Then you fucking played Assassin's Creed.
I said 2013.
You said, yeah.
It's like, no, I don't play that shit.
Did
Well,
you
except for
guys
the
play
first
Assassin's
two. Of
Creed? I played the first two. That's got to be at least
Yeah, and then I
40
gave
hours of
up.
Assassin's
That shit
Creed,
fucking
right?
sucked. Are they kidding me? Like Black Flag? Excuse me, what a joke. Like, let me just like go on ships and like fucking have like this cannon battles. No,
We've
that
learned
fucking
today that
sucked.
Mr. French's pre-game limit on beers should be 8. 10 is too many. Perhaps it is 8.
I just, like,
And the thing
this
is,
dude right
he
here,
has
this-
lifted
this-
his mask and thrown back a few more ounces of Jameson at this point.
Strap in, folks. It's not going to get better.
Prepare for Pacific Rim levels of ridiculousness.
What?
Or
We're
Ubisoft.
coming back here.
All right, rein this shit in.
No, I'm going to let it off the leash is what I'm about to do.
So can I, please?
What do you...
You're
what's
good.
that?
You're cut off.
What do you... So you hate Pacific Rim. You hate Assassin's Creed. I talked to Mikey about this last time.
I'm not
I'm
gonna pay
curious.
$60 a year to play the
What are
fucking
you
game.
What are you passionate about? What do you really like?
Okay, so here comes the hate mail.
Donald Trump
What? No! Fuck
And-
you!
and
No!
sexual assault on female gamers.
Got it. Next topic.
What are you passionate about? What do you like?
Or tell us. your
Overwatch.
What's
Overwatch
that?
is cool. I
Overwatch?
like Destiny.
Okay.
Destiny's pretty okay. They fucked up along the line, but I can still deal with it.
Okay, so you're really passionate about a game that's pretty okay. All right, go ahead.
Fuck you.
I'm just trying to say.
Bloodborne.
I'm just trying to bring out.
Fucking amazing game.
I've mentioned 8 intellectual properties in the course of this podcast, and 6 of them suck. So what I really want to know is, what is it that you like? Or is it just easier to hate everything, and if you don't let people know what you love, they can't get inside and hurt
Well,
you?
I guess
that's my goal in life.
I know. We unveiled that last week, that's Mikey's strategy in life. So what is it?
I like
really
Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs is a very underrated fucking IP.
Most people think that Watch Dogs isn't that good.
It's not.
That it's, in fact,
when it
overrated
comes to
by anybody who
gameplay and
likes
shit
it.
like that,
You're the
but I'm
first
gonna be
person I've
honest
met
with
who's
you,
ever said that Watch Dogs is really good.
When it comes to the second Watch Dogs, they at least did the research. They did the research.
So it's like,
where
so the hacking is realistic?
to the cyber community.
I don't know. It looks. I've seen Let's Plays of it, and it just looks like.
Is this one with the black guy in the backpack?
Yeah.
Okay.
Most recent one.
Okay.
So it really just looks like a shitty mod for GTA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I don't think the graphics are even on the level of GTA. It's like they tried for a little more realistic in a way, and then other ways it I don't know. It just doesn't look right.
I mean, just coming from like somebody who actually has some kind of background in the IT world, they did their homework. They at least tried this time. Watch Dogs 2.
As far as what, the gameplay or just the hacking?
The history behind it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, right now, like, there's a few people that I talk to about like how realistic the hacks are, and yeah, there's no central operation on how you control the street lights and shit like that, but you can actually hack that thing. You can actually hack all of those things. They do have a vulnerability where in real life you can actually like break into it.
I mean, I've watched hackers before, so I know pretty much everything I need to know about.
You didn't say the magic word.
That's
You
fucking
didn't say
Jurassic
the magic
Park.
word.
I don't know, just story-wise, they actually did a better job now.
28.8
I'm not
BPS
saying it's
modem.
the best game of the year or shit like that.
Million psychedelic colors.
Okay, so it's not the best game of the year.
No, but
it's a game that's been out for 2 weeks.
From a person that actually has a background
really like?
and
what's really fun to you? What do you really enjoy in life?
the mini stories behind it. Like they actually talk about some things that are fucking.
Are you still talking about Watch Dogs? All right. Assassin's Creed trailer came out on the movies.
Yeah, fuck that noise.
So did you play the original Assassin's Creed?
I played a healthy chunk of it.
Okay.
Devin actually played through it, and I watched him play a lot of it, and then I jumped in a little bit. But
so the thing that's always intrigued me about Assassin's Creed is the fact that the first game, I mean, all the marketing and all the really cool gameplay takes place in the past, right? When you're an actual assassin. But there's this strange overlay to the game where you're actually a guy in the present who is being like brain jacked into memories of his ancestors. Yeah. And, you know, that's the guy you are. And you wake up periodically, and that's kind of in between the stages, right? That's how they kind of move you around in time, which, fine, I get. What I was really interested in was the fact that they've incorporated that into the Michael Fassbender movie that's coming out.
Yeah, and it actually looks kind of interesting. The brief bit that we've seen, it looks more interesting than the game made it look.
Right, but wouldn't it have just been easier just to make Michael Fassbender like an ancient assassin and just leave all that modern shit out?
That's kind of what they thought with Prince of Persia. And wasn't that a steaming turd?
Well, they're trying to appeal to multiple demographics of the public.
I guess.
All the ancient Persians?
Why did...
Or historians. Hello.
Oh, and historians, that huge untapped market at the movie theaters.
I'm going to show my geopolitical ignorance now. There's no such thing as a modern Persian, right?
I could not tell you.
Like, that's not a region of the world anymore. I know it was. I believe Persia was like Iraq and Afghanistan and Iran, that kind of area of the world.
I don't know how all that breaks down. So we should probably just stop talking before we embarrass ourselves even more.
No, I
Yeah.
think
Hey
it's
guys,
done.
by
I
the
think
way,
I did
last
it already.
5 minutes of the conversation did not
Why
happen.
Did you
Forget about it.
Did you see Prince of Persia?
No.
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 No
okay.
one did. It was a shitty movie.
I was trying to figure out why it failed. Is the computer dead? Is it off? So good to be back.
I love technical difficulties.
Jesus. We went dark.
I blame them.
Everything died.
Oh, yeah, this too.
Are you sure you didn't
Some of our
You hacked us, didn't you? Hack the planet.
I hacked this nuts.
You know, I've heard people who know tell me that stuff can be, there's a central mechanism that you can hack that can be affected.
I'm never going to touch that.
All right, then.
Michael Fassbender as the assassin, as it were. So you think it works? You think it works with him being in the future and then putting him back into...
Well, I think it works because he's a solid actor. So,
That's true. He's good in anything.
So you give him a broader range instead of just trying to cram a good actor into one role. Like it gives him a little more to play with. I think.
Let him play two roles, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know if they're
get
going
that.
with that. Are they? I didn't even.
Well, I mean, no, I don't think he's going to be two roles, but he's playing two different people in two different times, basically. So yeah, I mean, I imagine he's got to be different. I've heard big chunks of the movie aren't in English. Like I think they're in whatever the original language is.
Italian.
It's going.
Which-
Yeah, I don't,
It
I don't know
might
which
be.
one they're going for. There were a couple. I think Italian. Was that the second one?
Yeah,
Yes.
it was. So it's
Oh.
not Italian. It's some sort of
Let's be real.
Arabic language, right?
That's the problem I had with Assassin's Creed is that it was just repetitive. I really liked the combat system, but other than that, the story sort of dragged on, and then at least in the first one, it was like you had a lot of dead time in the middle of the game. So
There's a strange
But they can't. Go ahead.
there's a strange sweet spot you have to hit in games like that where I think a lot of role-playing games suffer from this. Skyrim suffers from this. Assassin's Creed, even some iterations of GTA, although I think they've improved it a lot, is like you're trying to move along and tell a story and have fun, but you have to find different ways of utilizing the basic mechanics. But like Assassin's Creed basically has you do go here, find this guy, follow him, kill him, right? You know, basically over and over. Those are your basic kind of four mechanics that you're dealing with. So how do you find interesting ways of dealing with those mechanics? And the first game I don't think did a really good job of doing that. Skyrim is go here, find a guy says go here, go to this dungeon, get this thing I need and bring it back, right? Over and over and over again, basically.
and also make 1,000 sets of iron armor.
Well, and there's that.
Well, I think with Assassin's Creed, what I could do is they would take a lesson from Dishonored. On Dishonored, if you go full stealth on a mission throughout the whole entire game, you will get a better ending rather than just killing everybody.
Oh, so if you go full stealth for the whole game?
Yeah, actually, if you go without killing anybody throughout the whole game in Dishonored, then you actually get a better ending. Rather than just going balls out, just killing everything that comes through your path, which will give you the bad ending. They could take a lesson from that.
I only made it about an hour through Dishonored.
Can
that's
you
okay.
can you like Reader's Digest the like core gameplay mechanic of Dishonored for me? Like you're kind of an assassin, you're sneaking around, you're killing guys.
Think
I
if
don't.
you
Well, that's the thing. You're
Think
not
if
supposed
you
to be killing
mixed-
guys. You're supposed to put them to sleep. You're supposed to like just disarming them and just like learn the patterns from the
Think
patrol
if you
routes and just
combine
getting around them.
take Assassin's Creed and combine it with BioShock. Because you have some of those like powers and you can sort of concentrate in certain ways, but then there's like the assassination stuff and that sort of thing.
Or
So you
stealth.
kind of got little powers that you can kind of activate and stuff like that.
Which I thought sounded really cool, and then when I actually played it, I had a lot of the same problems I had with BioShock. I thought it just the seriousness of the story didn't match the cheesiness of the visuals. Which I thought, like BioShock, I thought had fucking fantastic story, but I thought the gameplay was really weak.
Really?
And I kind of thought the same. Well, I don't know. I didn't get enough into the story of Dishonored, but
The gameplay
was kind of, I don't know. It was like hokey.
it builds. It is hokey, but it builds. The more powers you have, the more interesting ways you can combine them. So like it starts pretty simply, but as you move on through the game, it gets better and more interesting. And the story obviously drags you along in BioShock. I think the story was really interesting.
Well,
BioShock's a great example. A game that takes a core gameplay and turns it on its head twice. Because BioShock 2, you play the other side, right? You play the bad guy.
I heard that was crap, though. I didn't even play that one.
It wasn't. It wasn't as good. And the third one is completely different setting, just as interesting. 3 was fantastic. Really interesting game. I'm sorry, Mr. French, I interrupted you. BioShock, you had thoughts on BioShock?
He really doesn't like the Mr. French thing.
I'm sorry.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
No, but when it comes down to Dishonored, I really think like the way that you play the game, when it comes down to that, to trying to be full stealth and trying to be merciful and not kill anybody, and the fact that if you kill more people throughout the gameplay, you allow the disease to spread more. Like that's a cool mechanic.
So there's a negative for killing people.
Killing people spreads the disease more, which is a no-no.
Okay. Okay.
And I think that when it comes down to Assassin's Creed, they could have like taken a lesson from that mechanic, because you're an assassin. You don't want people to know what you're doing. You want to be as stealthy as you fucking can be.
Oh, so you want a mechanic that incentivizes
that will punish
stealth.
you for
not
just
necessarily
like, fucking killing everybody in your path.
Oh,
but if you're able to get your target, even as an assassin, and just eliminate that person.
I thought you wanted to incentivize. I thought you wanted to incentivize killing less in the game based on assassination. I was confused. I see what you're saying.
I want to incentivize like being able to kill in the game in the way that you'll be a true assassin, where you just like sneak in and out and you kill just the one person and you're done with it.
Hitman's doing that really well right now.
Oh, Hitman, like fucking
20 different ways to get through every mission. They're doing really interesting stuff there, which is
and
a lot of fun.
Ubisoft can take a fucking lesson from them, but they don't.
We're gonna move forward a topic, but in the meantime, in the back of your heads, while you're waiting to participate, I want the two of you to think of two different things. Number one, I want to hear the dumbest thing that you ever did in your childhood that almost resulted in your death, arrest, severe injury, or loss of a friend or family member.
Done.
Okay, keep thinking of it. Make sure it's good. Okay, don't tell a shitty story. And you, I want to hear the fattiest, shittiest thing you've ever eaten in your life. I know you've built some ridiculous things in Diamondback.
A whole podcast for this. He's making D's nuts jokes again.
The biggest, fattiest thing you've ever eaten in your life is his nuts?
That's apparently the joke he's going
That's
for.
a horrible image. Everything about that in my head is terrible.
But he'd probably
just
have
the fact that he just has nuts that could be described as fatty is horrifying to me. And then on top of that, you trying to like force them awkwardly into your mouth is everything about that is.
You think
terrible.
He was wearing the mask at the time?
Oh, definitely. Up here in the dome, he was definitely wearing the mask.
The funny thing is, he had the
pulsing heart eyes.
He's turned on.
Absolutely.
Yet somehow he's turned on. That's a freaking
It happens. I mean,
well, he was thinking of
who's here to
Hugh
judge?
Jackman the whole time.
Who doesn't?
True. All right, so what's our real discussion in the meantime? Jesus.
So we'll take a quick step back. I am not all the way caught up, and Mikey hasn't started, but you're a big Westworld fan at the moment, which is something that we haven't touched on, I think, so far.
I mean, I can't say I'm a big fan. I'm several episodes in, and so far it's been amazing.
Okay.
I thought you were going to do the backhanded compliment thing again. Like, it's okay. I mean, I like it a lot, but it's all right.
No,
but
Westworld has been
you don't
so
like
far.
anything.
But you did say two different things. You said, I can't say I'm a fan.
Yeah, because I've only seen 5
But so
episodes.
far it's amazing.
I've seen only 5 episodes, and so far it's being.
So you want to hedge your bet in case it turns south at the end of the season?
Well,
You
it
don't want it
might. I
on
don't
record
know.
as you said
I
you were a
just don't
fan
know.
at one time.
It's so unpredictable. That's the point. It's so unpredictable.
It is.
I don't know what to think about it.
It is. They could get into some really weird
have
territory.
tried to put the plot in my head and see where it goes. And then I'll watch an episode and it's like, oh, wait, well, that's wrong.
I don't think we have enough information to figure out where it's going to go. Big Game of
Exactly,
Thrones?
that's my
Big Game
point.
of Thrones fan?
I don't watch Game of Thrones now. I don't.
Not Game of Thrones. You?
No.
Yeah. I love Game of Thrones.
I do too. There's a lot of talk. This is the next big Game of Thrones. I don't think it's there. I think it's great. I don't think you can go on for as long as Game of Thrones has.
I honestly know very, very little about it, but that's what I always see people talking about on Facebook and everything. So I definitely want to check
Game of
it
Thrones
out.
It's
has
fantastic.
A very, cult-like following, unlike Westworld, which is like
Game of
the
Thrones does
director's
not have
the
a cult
guy
following.
who directed Jurassic Park.
Game of Thrones is
Full mainstream.
full mainstream. One of the most popular pop culture items on the face of the planet right now.
It still has a cult following.
It does not. What
can't
is your
s-
definition of a cult following? What does that even
Besides
mean?
the size of the cult,
That's like I'm into
the
this
cult's still
big.
happening.
There's the the Beatles. They have this cult following.
Yeah, that's
They've
crazy.
got a
talk.
few. They've got a few hits.
Even the book is sold.
Okay, maybe
Millions
I'm just
upon-
being fucking. Maybe I just don't accept Game of Thrones. I
Maybe
don't
it's
know.
something that doesn't translate from the French language. Maybe it's
Yeah.
maybe it's something that's not
Such a
quite.
cunt.
Exactly.
That came out nice and clear. You're such a cunt.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. What?
Twat, did you say?
There you go. Thank you, Mikey.
So I was having a discussion with Susan earlier, and this came up with you. So we said we started talking about Westworld before the show opens, and you were like, "I'd love to watch Westworld, but I don't have time." Which totally makes sense because I say the same kind of shit all the time. So you've got a full-time job, a wife, and a child at this point. You're going to school and building unsettling
Crazy shit.
paintball-related
with
masks
it.
and building a robot. And I was talking to Susan earlier, and we were talking about, like, I think some kind of show that we wanted, like Breaking Bad or something like that. Everybody's always like, how have you not watched Breaking Bad? Well, motherfucker, Breaking Bad is like 105 episodes or something like that. Like, where am I going to find 105 hours of my time to digest this show? I can't sit around and binge watch Netflix anymore. And we started thinking, like, what did we do with all the time in our 20s where we didn't do, like, shit? Like, I mean, do you think back on that time? Think about how much less you had to be responsible for. What did you even do with that time?
Oof. Mainly just
I have
drugs
no
and video
idea.
games.
Right? I mean, was it that much drugs and video games? I guess it
really
was.
kinda hard
I mean,
to put it into words.
yes.
I wish I wish I could agree with you. I wish I could say I fucked my 20s away, but the truth of the matter is
No,
I
drugs and
I
video
just don't
games.
have that much stamina to fuck away years and months of my life, okay? Yeah, it was more like that. What is it? Trying to push a rope? What is that?
So,
Okay, who wants to go first? You're gonna go first. You said
Oh,
you had
what, in
one.
Westworld?
Dumbest thing you ever did.
Oh, yeah, dumbest thing I ever did. I was 12 years old. I got a hold of illegal fireworks.
Okay.
And I threw them at a friend while he was standing on a pile of gas canisters.
no way that could go wrong.
Right? He survived. So that's,
Okay.
yeah, that's
Well,
the
that's,
kind of
I
thing that-
thought maybe we were gonna have a haunting end to a
No, no,
podcast
no.
where a
He
12-year-old
was
died.
good.
R.I.P.
Nothing
Billy.
exploded except for like his left pinky.
So you
you
threw
know,
a
whatever.
lit firework at a child
Like Roman candles,
standing
yeah. Roman candles. He was standing on top of a...
of a gas
ledger of-
canister, and the
Yeah.
gas canister lit on fire.
No. He lit on fire.
He lit the gas canister on
No,
fire.
he lit himself on fire. Because he
I-
pulled the
I knew this wasn't
Roman
gonna go
candle
well.
out of my hands and then looked at it and like chucked it in the face. But that's
I-
his fault.
I think it counts as you lit him on fire. He did not.
You fired a Roman candle at him.
He did not try to commit suicide via Roman candle. You shot the Roman candle at him, and he burst into flames.
No. I shot Roman candle at him. And then he grabbed the Roman candle and looked down the barrel and shot himself in the face. That's his own fault.
Did that seriously happen? Is that really what happened?
It happened, yes. This is a true story.
So, okay, you said your friend survived this incident.
He did, yes.
Is he still alive today? Because I imagine he has walked into traffic a number of times.
Yes.
Oh.
Later on, we went to the firing range.
See, folks, this is why things are the way they are.
Okay, just to let you guys know, this was not in the States. This was like down in South America.
That
Different
doesn't
rules.
It doesn't make it better.
It's not.
Not any better.
Different rules down there.
I'm gonna say
Encourage firing Roman candles at your own face.
we have plenty of stupid up this way. That is for sure.
Dude,
But it was kind of like Harry Potter, you know, and the whole like magic wand fights.
Yeah, no, I've done that. The dumbest thing we did. No, this is not the dumbest. One of the dumb things we did with fireworks was we were at that business park one day, which we've talked about before, and we got a bunch of bottle rockets, and we thought the fun thing was just to light the bottle rocket and just throw it out into the parking lot wherever we went, and it would go streaking across the parking lot, which was all well and good until it fired back underneath the cars at us. Luckily, no one caught on fire, but one did end up lodged in the front of Mark's 3000 GT, which he was unhappy about. But yeah, that was a bad idea.
I was just imagining what that looked like.
Oh, it was one of the scariest moments of my life at that point. Like, the worst thing that could have happened was like it would have hit me and it would have burned me, you know, a little bit. Probably not really terribly, but when there's something flaming coming at you at what appears to be the speed of light at the moment, it's genuinely terrifying.
So, how does everyone have a story like that? Is that just a rite of passage as a child?
Kind of, yeah.
I think it is.
Before 12 years old, that's kind of what you have to go through.
I feel like
I was 17 at least.
Oh,
You were a late bloomer, okay?
Yeah, you started early with your friend trying
Dude,
to.
my story's like a fucking 10 years old, so, dude, we're dumb, so.
I did.
You had some kind of reason in your head, yeah, you still went through it.
I did.
The fuck?
I did some kind of dumb stuff when I was a kid.
I was probably there.
I'm sure you were. I did some kind of dumb stuff when I was a kid, but I didn't do the really dumb stuff until I was in my late teens, early 20s. When I was released from the house and I had a car and money, and that's when I became a really genuinely dangerous member of society to others and myself.
That's usually how it goes. I guess that's why you always see shit go awry with like when people become famous early on, fall into a bunch of money, and they just turn into the biggest assholes on the planet. I mean, it's like you can't give kids those kind of resources and that kind of freedom.
You really
and expect anything good to come of it.
Yeah, if you gave me like Justin Bieber money, I'd be trying to eliminate populations of people.
You could give me Justin Bieber money now, and I'd fucking fuck something up. I can almost guarantee it.
Finance personal vendettas and probably injure yourself.
The only thing that keeps me in line is the fact that I have to maintain some sort of like standing in society to be able to maintain my life.
Yeah, if you all of a sudden had $100 million and like you could just do whatever you wanted, nobody would care what you thought.
Oh, he's drinking.
I thought he was revealing his face. I thought this was happening.
The great reveal of Mr. French Grinch.
I like my whiskey. Fuck you.
You mean you like my whiskey?
I like your whiskey. Okay, deal with it. Thank you, by the way.
Yeah. Better
I
fucking
appreciate
drink.
it. I'll give you $1 on Christmas next year.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little more than that.
Fine, I'll buy you a bottle. Jesus fucking Christ, this guy.
I better drink this before he gets a hold of it again.
It's a good call.
Oh, you
can drink this
behind the couch.
I don't think.
Good.
Yeah, we've got that mystery jar. We should just keep that. We're gonna leave that on the video.
I'm not touching that. I don't trust it. I think it has chlamydia.
It is a jar of liquid chlamydia.
I don't.
Good call. I don't know how you just pulled that out. You have some sort of specialized STD vision that I'm not aware of.
Right here.
Yeah, that's what those goggles actually do. Is identify STDs on
Like,
site.
They do,
it
they
clicks
do.
on like the
I
predator
go to a
vision.
bar, I see a girl, I'm like, oh, she got herpes now.
Yeah, does their crotch glow like in the predator? But it's
Yeah,
just like
kind of, yeah.
just, heat signature.
That'd be a good internet bit.
Dude, that's
Somebody
actually like
steal
a
that
really
and make
good
that.
idea. Like,
Just
can we
like
make that
it just
happen?
drops down. The predator vision drops down. You could see the heat signatures of the different like STDs in the bar.
But that's to click through the
Chlamydia,
different.
There's
AIDS,
different visions. Yeah.
UTI. Don't get near it. Just back off.
That must be like a mild warmth. It's just a yeast infection. It's not full chlamydia.
Yeast infection sounds blue. Yeast infections are blue. Chlamydia is like a green, yellow.
You heard it here first,
I
folks.
I thought he said yeast infections shots blue, insinuating that he had a yeast infection at one point, and that he had to get shots for it, which I didn't know that they did, and that they were painful shots. I was very confused for a moment. I'm glad you're yeast infection free.
Thank you. It took a lot of work.
The French have a lot of troubles with yeast infections.
I'm French, you son of a bitch. Punch you.
Mr. French, everybody.
Taco Bell's in another country. I believe it.
I came all the way from Silicon Valley for this shit.
I should have written down the country. I don't remember what it is now.
It doesn't matter.
France?
We're American and we don't know where it is.
Taco Bell's in another country. Maybe a test market. Maybe it's just they think they think it'll work well there. Have released a Cheeto quesadilla, which appears to be a quesadilla with Cheetos inside of it, and also a small side of Cheetos to go along with it in case the ones inside of it weren't enough.
Oh, just so it actually has the Cheetos. It's not like the Doritos taco where it's the Dorito dust.
No, it does appear to be. It's not just. They do look a little funny in the quesadilla, but I've never seen Cheetos in a quesadilla before, so maybe. I suspect the ones in the quesadilla might be non-traditional Cheetos.
At this point, they've fully embraced the 80% market that they have on stoners after 12 a.m.
Oh yeah.
Because that's stereotypical stoner. It's like, oh, I have this food and I want to eat it all right now, so I'm gonna wrap food X in food Y and consume it all at once.
They could not be a thriving business in this day and age with that mentality.
That's probably true.
I mean, I think that's why they're open till 3 a.m. every night, right? It's just like, Taco Bell basically makes 50 items with the same half dozen ingredients.
Why do they have I hate it if I'm drunk and someone's pulling us up at a fucking Taco Bell and that menu is like pages long. Like, why are there so many items? You have 5 total food ingredients?
Right.
You have like chicken, beef, cheese, and then like lettuce,
chicken, beef, cheese, tortillas, lettuce,
and then like lettuce, tomato,
chicken.
They probably don't even have onion there.
No, I bet you're right.
They don't.
And it's probably just different colored food scraps. It's not even like chicken and beef are the same. They come out of the same like space food bag.
It's a big assembly line. It just splits at one point, and one side gets dyed brown, and the other side gets
like they put
bleached white.
A few drops of water on it to rehydrate it, and then a few drops of food coloring to determine what meat it's supposed to be.
I suspect they've run into this trap where, so if the Cheeto quesadilla came out here, stoners would gravitate to the Cheeto quesadilla, right? Like, I bet they get a sales bump when they come out. Like that Doritos Locos Taco, they killed it with that. Everybody wanted to try Doritos Locos Tacos. Everybody was disappointed, I think, but everybody
Cool
liked
Ranch. Cool Ranch.
Do you like the Cool? I'm not sure I tried the Cool Ranch taco.
Cool Ranch one's actually pretty decent.
I didn't like it.
I'm not sure I tried the Cool Ranch one. The Doritos taco was okay.
I mean, that's the problem you have. You're paying that premium. You're doubling the price, and you're now spending $1.05 or something for this taco, and all you're getting is like because everybody wants soft tacos.
I like regular hard tacos.
Oh, you can go fuck yourself.
Dude,
No, I'm just kidding. I like them both, but it's like,
thank you for letting us know you're white.
Only white people like hard tacos?
Yeah, kind of. It's a thing.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm pretty fucking white. Like I'm like the whitest thing ever.
I just
yeah,
didn't know
you're
that.
not.
I just didn't know that.
You're hanging out with Dixon. You're not white.
I just didn't know that Mexican people didn't eat hard tacos.
We don't.
You're not Mexican.
I'm French.
Well played.
Way to embrace it.
Yes. Just take it right on the head.
Cheers.
Really? Now I'm gonna have to look that up. I didn't know that.
I was just having a Facebook discussion. I've seen shit go around that always says that white people don't season their food.
That's bullshit.
I don't understand. I never understood.
Here in Maryland, you have fucking Old Bay.
Yeah,
That's
like
seasoning.
we put fucking shit ton of seasoning on everything. I do it to excess.
Every house I've ever been to has an entire fucking cabinet jammed with spices.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everybody has those spices they don't use.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know where that stereotype came from. Is that like a Midwest thing
I don't know.
that they don't use?
Couldn't tell you.
I've never been to a white household that doesn't use a ton of spice.
I haven't
But
actually. To two white souls that do not use a lot of spice. Like I literally went to two girls that I dated. I went to their house. They had this amazing, like literally, like about this big fucking spice racks. Yet when they
Still
serve
have the
dinner,
seal on the
it's fucking just like
salt and
chicken
pepper
with
at the
salt and
table.
pepper and green beans with nothing on it. And I'm like, why? Why are you doing this?
I could get the stereotype that Americans don't spice their food properly.
Sass.
I think most American, the average American probably can't cook very well. There are a lot of very good cooks in the country, but the average American probably can't cook very well. And part of that is probably a poor understanding of spices as compared to maybe some European and certainly South American, Southern, Northern American influences.
Like everywhere else.
Yeah.
Except for Canada. Does Canada have any good food?
Dude, they have maple syrup.
No,
Can
they've
you
got maple syrup
Can you even like
and
contest?
poutine,
You can't. They
which is
have maple
basically
syrup.
just cheese fries.
They
I don't like
right?
poutine.
Gravy
Deal with it.
fries.
They got donuts.
Which is just
They
Dunkin'
got
Donuts.
Horton's donuts.
I was like, is Canada known for donuts?
Tim Hortons.
Oh.
That's
Yeah.
their thing.
Oh.
If you as soon as you cross the border, Tim Hortons is like Starbucks
Yeah.
down here. Every corner has a fucking
Ugh.
Tim Hortons on it. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
So I would hate that as much as I hate Starbucks.
It is a better no. It's not like Starbucks. It's much more like Dunkin' Donuts. It's a higher quality Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh, okay.
Very known for their coffee. Very known for their donuts, which are a better quality than
Have
Dunkin'
you ever
Donuts.
had fractured prune? From Ocean City?
No. Why have I heard of that? I don't
Ocean
know.
City.
I've heard it.
It's very big on fractured
Oh,
prune.
okay. Yeah. Someone else
Fractured
was
We
saying.
actually
Prune,
used
Duck
to
Donuts.
We actually
There's a
used
bunch
to
of
have a
them now.
fractured prune here in Ellicott City.
There used to be one here?
Yeah. There
I don't
was,
know. It's gone
on,
now?
by the 7-Eleven on Frederick Road.
It's gone now?
Yeah, they
Oh, that's sad. I didn't know that.
fucking-
That's
they-
pretty good.
they
Their
fucked up.
their donuts aren't as good as Fractured Prune. Not
But
even
no,
close.
regardless. What
Okay.
I'm saying is that Tim Hortons is like fractured prune because it kind of popped up everywhere and people just fucking ate it.
Yeah, no, people love Tim Hortons. Tim Hortons is a famous
Yeah.
hockey player, I think. I think he opened up a chain. Anyway, Canada has no famous food that I'm aware of.
Maple syrup, really?
That's,
I mean-
that is a
Really?
condiment.
It's kind of a food to them.
I mean,
But,
they are real big on their maple syrup. I did read about a maple syrup heist, I think. There's guys who stole like 5,000 gallons of maple syrup.
They
like
were
it was a big
super
deal.
apologetic.
Yeah.
About it.
I don't know if they
I'm
caught the
a
guys.
little
I think
We were
upset.
super,
they were probably
super
Americans.
sorry, eh? Sorry about that. My goal is by the end of this, the run of this podcast is just to offend every person ever.
Well on our way.
I've done my part.
Well on our way. What can we say? What would really irritate Bolivians? I'm not saying we'll do it now, but maybe we'll hold it in our back pocket for later.
I'd have to learn a lot more about Bolivia.
I have no
That's
idea.
why I asked him. He's like right there. I haven't even said it yet. I asked you.
I think it's
like,
French.
do you have like
French,
do you have like
yeah.
do you have like a massacre that you're ashamed of in your past, or like, do you have a group of people that you really persecute currently that you really don't like
Evo
talking about it,
Morales.
but you know it's happening?
Motherfucker.
What's that?
Evo Morales, motherfucker.
Eva
I thought
Mendes?
she was Argentinian.
Dude, get with the worldly culture, dude.
I don't know who Eva Morales is. You're
That's the
saying like I'm
that's the
supposed to know who
Bolivian
it is.
president, if you want to like get into that fucking perspective of things.
Who is Eva Morales
He is the Bolivian dictator / president.
right now?
Yeah.
Oh, and he's a dictator.
Yeah, he's kind of the Donald Trump of... Yeah,
The Donald
States.
Trump of Bolivia.
yeah.
Got
there
it.
you go.
Okay, I'll put
He
that
is
one.
Donald Trump.
Does he have fabulously horrifying hair?
I'll put that
Kind
one
of,
in
yeah, but
my
it's black,
back pocket.
not gold.
Oh, you caught it. It's gonna wake back
Woo,
up.
good job.
Oh, we're still going. Hooray!
God, those eyes are creepy.
So happy.
If you're still listening to this shit show, definitely check out the video version.
Yeah, at least for a few minutes. I mean,
It's definitely worth a look.
Jesus. What is the fattiest fat thing you've ever eaten?
So our old chef, when I ran Diamondback, our old chef Dave Solon, well, pretty much every chef we sort of had this challenge that they do. It's like what can we do to feed Mikey?
Yep.
And
Dicks in a bag?
you should make some more D's nuts jokes. Those are classic.
Nuts in a bag?
There you go. So all the chefs would always try to come up with the most ridiculous food to feed me, just because I eat a lot and I don't always eat very healthy, I suppose.
Yeah, but back in those days, I think you were earning it for the most part.
Yeah.
You know, you were working out pretty heavily, and you would eat to make up for it.
That's pretty much the goal, and I'm hoping to get there again now. But I think the worst was when Dave Solon was our chef, and
Will he come on? He should come on.
he might. We'd probably have to record one on the weekend or something.
Oh,
'Cause
okay.
he's switched over. He does a day job now.
Oh, gotcha.
But so I think the worst was when we were trying to come up with what we ended up calling the Gamera.
Dude, I was there that day.
The Gamera.
I
Yeah,
was there that day.
so the connection is Diamondback, the Diamondback turtle.
Yep.
Gamera is what's the name? Kaiju.
Yep.
Is a giant turtle kaiju in the same vein as Godzilla, but he's just a giant flying rocket turtle. So that was our basis behind naming it.
That's a clever name, actually.
Yeah, that was
really,
all
that's
Dave.
really good.
That was all Dave. So what he lacks in height, he makes up with cleverness. So he
Which your parents a lot.
would basically just try to make absurd burger creations. I mean, we had everything from the burger with like sausage legs so they look like a fucking turtle to just a massive pile of like 3 half-pound patties with like grilled cheese in the middle and bacon and chili and fucking everything you could think of. We put damn near everything. It was probably that or when
And that was all in the Gamera?
yeah.
Oh my god.
And there was one that we eventually had on the menu. There was like 2 half-pound burgers, and it was like a club basically.
That sounds so delicious right now.
Yeah, I miss Diamondback burgers so
I
much.
bet.
It's so bad, but it's like the trial and error phase was when things got really interesting. I mean, we made the Luther. Like he would bring in donuts on Sundays. And every once in a while,
Oh yeah.
you do that. You know, you like grill a glazed donut
Oh, dude, that's
and then put a burger in the middle, and that's the bread.
That sounds amazing.
I mean, it's like if you can get both diabetes and heart disease in one meal,
That'd be it.
that's how you do it.
Oh god. Yeah, I can feel my heart slowing.
Hey, who wants to go to Double T Diner after this?
To what?
Double T Diner.
Oh man, that sounds so good.
Right?
Why do I have to
Dude,
work in the
just
morning? That
think
sounds
of
like a
eggs.
great idea. Fuck.
Just think about it.
No, I can't.
Oh, you can't.
It's a terrible
You can't.
decision.
You're a terrible influence.
That's not helping. That's not helping your cause. The gentle touching. It's It's not helping.
Yeah, and the creepy whispering with your blinking cat eyes.
You're not making me want to go anywhere with you.
Now your eyes are going nuts. Like, do you just have it on rotate?
Yeah.
I hope this shows up.
It doesn't.
You look
Hopefully.
absolutely insane. Ugh.
Oh, it doesn't. Just a tiny bit. The blinking does.
I don't know.
Almost.
It's creepy as fuck.
Yeah, it is.
You can watch this shit and have fucking nightmares.
Have fun with it.
I think if you like wandered around in the wrong area, you might actually get shot. That is that creepy. You need to be careful where you wear that.
Huh?
That is. Can we go now?
Well, it's a little short, so it's like, what's the?
You want to do
thing?
one more? We can do one more.
And this is just let's just ram this train straight into the ground.
Tell me about something that you mentioned last week that sounded really intriguing to me, but I don't know anything about it. You mentioned a product. You said something about the new Photoshop that is operable by your voice.
Oh, so it basically is just referenced as they compared it to Photoshop for your voice. And I forget the name of it, but it's Adobe as far as I understand. And basically, if you have 20 minutes of someone's voice, you can then make them sound like they're saying anything.
Oh, so it lets you like stitch together words or like...
It basically samples how their voice sounds and the inflection that they have, and then it can make that say anything. It sounds pretty impressive.
That's bad, right? I mean, we've reached the end of... That's the end of an era, right?
If they give that to me, I will take trolling to a whole new level.
Yeah, but you know who has an archive of their voice available to the public at this point, right?
Yeah.
You. And me, for that matter. But the good news is, you know who else we have a good archive of voice
man.
of?
I'll make a whole podcast of Raekwon and Jaquan.
Are they still coming?
Yeah, hopefully in the next couple episodes.
I'm so excited. It's gonna be so awkward. It's so weird. I'm gonna have to take the Wednesday off because I may have to drink heavily to do that.
We probably will. Maybe we'll switch it and do like a weekend one or something.
Oh, I think that's a great idea. Yeah, because I've got some free weekends this in December. Might be able to make that happen. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Raekwon and Jaquan. Maybe we may have. I talked to Phoenix about this the other day. We may have a big GuyCast announcement here in the next couple of weeks for our old GuyCast listeners who have stuck around.
I'm gonna end on this brief story from shopping the other day.
Oh yeah, that was the last thing I was gonna ask you.
So you know the sellers that are in the little carts in the center of the walkway or whatever.
The fucking bane of my existence.
Exactly. You know, they're like, "Oh, excuse me, sir, can I talk to you for a second? Blah, 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 whatever, I'm going to sell you this bullshit." Well, I hadn't slept at all the other day, and we actually took the kid to go do the first Santa photo shoot.
Ooh.
And that all went fine, but then we're walking through the mall just taking care of some shopping. And we're walking, and this guy goes, "Excuse me, sir, can I talk to you for a second?" And Christina had already sort of turned towards the guy because she thought, she knows I'm not going to sit there and fucking have a conversation with this guy.
Right.
But she thought I'd at least, like, entertain whatever he's trying to sell and then let him down, and then we keep going. So she paused for a second. He goes, "Excuse me, sir, can I talk to you for a moment?" And I just go, "Nope," and just kept walking. And it was the most liberating experience in some time. And Christina did one of those like fucking started laughing because she had already committed to stopping
and talking to him.
Had to like turn the stroller and walk real fast to get away because I just shamed this poor guy that's just trying to do his job. But holy shit, did it feel good.
Those guys are the worst. When did it become okay? When did it become okay when I'm at the mall to just, like, harass me as I walk down the hallway?
I mean, I know.
2013.
What? Yeah, it was about in that area. Like, it's terrible.
Thanks, Obama.
Yeah, that's true. I'll give him that strike. I'll give him that strike. No, it's just fucking. You walked. I mean, how many people?
Arigato,
Back in like it was probably 2013. It was the early days where that was starting to become a thing. There was one of those guys. There have always been the lotion guys who were trying to sell some sort of anti-aging lotion or something like that.
Some like nail something.
The
or whatever.
Persian guys.
Yeah, back then
Yeah,
they were
Persian,
Persians
yes.
are still a thing. You're right.
Or the guys with like the fucking massage fucking tools. So they're like, yeah, this like relax you all day long.
No, this was like lotion guys, I think.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And we were at the mall, and this wasn't 13. This would have been.
This was much farther back.
08, 09, maybe. I think I was married, but barely. And that's not what I meant.
That does sound hilarious. I'm barely married.
Yeah. And we were walking down the hall and down the hall aisle at the mall, and a guy was like, "Excuse me, guys, can we talk to you?" And I do what you did all the time. Like I've mastered, because I work in Baltimore. I've mastered the homeless. Like, hey, can you help me with a nope, no cash. Sorry, man. Good luck. And just keep moving. Don't stop. Don't engage. It's not going to get better. And I was just like, no, man, we're okay. That's okay. And a guy reached out and he like grabbed Susan is the wrong word, but like kind of put his hand on her arm and tried to lead her over to the cart. I freaked the fuck out in the middle of the mall hallway. I was like, get your fucking hand off of her. And it got loud and real quiet and real awkward.
Perfect.
And it was like, no, they don't do that anymore. I think they've talked to you. Like, I think you could say whatever you want, but I think they know not to touch anybody anymore. But yeah, it was one of those moments. You can ask Susan about it. It got real bad, and she then grabbed me and led me away from the situation so that I didn't make it any worse. But no, I fucking hate it. I can't stand it, man. That they just, now you walk through, it's lotion, it's nails, it's massage things. It's timeshares, right?
They're the real world equivalent of pop-up ads.
That's brilliant. You're absolutely right. That is
They're
exactly
that bad.
it. And I need a pop-up blocker. I
All
think
right, so
Mr. French is done. Called it a day.
I think we need to end this because we killed Mr. French.
You guys are having a conversation. I'm just chilling. So. Yeah, let's call it a night. Can we do that, please? I'm done.
Absolutely. Thank you to Mr. French Grinch for joining us.
Wrench! You son of a bitch. It's Wrench.
Wrench.
I did not come all the way from
Wrench
with an
Valley.
The French
We
Wrench
call you a French.
has joined us.
Fuck you.
We appreciate your time, taking time away from your busy hacking schedule. Thank you to all our listeners for joining us for another Last Call podcast. My name is MikeyT, joined
Love
as
you
always
guys.
by Tristan.
See you guys.
We'll see you next time on the next Last Call.